fake pastors in Africa. But before we dive into what we have for you guys today, if you have not subscribed to the channel and turn on your notification bell, please do that, as that will help us to serve you guys better. Now, going straight to our number 10 on the list today for top 10 fake pastors in Africa, we have Pastor Solomon Oladimeji. The 65-year-old Pastor Solomon Oladimeji of the popular Cherubim and Seraphim recently confessed in an interview to being a member of the Ogboni fraternity. In his statement, he said he is not ashamed to tell the world of his membership in the fraternity. He disclosed that he is a leader in the fraternity and it has helped him to know Jesus Christ better. How? He also said joining the fraternity has made him an overall better citizen. From his confession in a recent interview, he also said so many people has tagged him as a false man of God, which he doesn't care about. They say you cannot serve two masters at the same time, but this is what Prophet Oladimeji seems to be doing. Now, moving up to our number 9, we have Prophet Lesego Daniel. Prophet Lesego Daniel is another controversial African prophet who is considered to be false due to his actions. The South African prophet Lesego Daniel is the founder of the Rabboni Center Ministry. He is well known for working on his followers during his healing session. He also advises them to eat only grass to get nearer to God during one of his services. This prophet urged hundreds of people to drop to the ground and start eating grass. He also later advised his followers to drink petrol. Back in 2015, he was even said to have placed a gay spirit in a young man just to prove his powers to his members that he is a real man of God. His controversial method of healing and bizarre action has earned him a spot today as one of the top fake prophets in Africa. Now, moving up to our number 8, we have Pastor Paul Mckenzie. On 21st of April 2023, controversial Kenyan pastor Paul Mckenzie, who runs the Good News International Church in Shakahola, Malindi, Kenya, made news headline after a massacre took place in the Shakahola forest. People were left shocked after Kenyan police found dozens of dead bodies in the eastern part of the country. Soon after this, Pastor Paul Mckenzie was arrested as he allegedly asked people to starve themselves so they could meet Jesus. He reportedly converted people to his beliefs and engaged them in fasting. The bodies of the people were found during an investigation in a Shakahola forest owned by Pastor Paul Mckenzie, where he forced his followers to go and pray, fast, and starve themselves so that they can see Jesus. He deceived his followers, saying that if they starved themselves to death, that they would go to heaven and meet Jesus. According to reports by Charles Kamau, the head of criminal investigation in Malindi, Kenya, he stated that they have exhumed over 100 dead bodies in Shakahola forest. Pastor Paul Mckenzie was arrested on 14th of April 2023 over links and connection to cultism and that he is using his church members for ritual purposes. Now, moving on to our number 7 on the list today, we have Pastor David Elijah, the pastor in charge of Grace and Power Divine Prophetic Ministry, Oka, Anambra State, in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Pastor David Elijah Chidiebere narrowly escaped death when unknown gunmen shot him in front of his church in Okwa, the Anambra State capital. The controversial pastor who has been running the ministry has gained popularity through his deliverance and healing exploits. Eyewitnesses said the attackers, who may have been lurking around, soon emerged from hiding and started shooting sporadically as faithful ran for cover to save their lives. It was not yet clear whether the gunmen were hired assassins or armed robbers, but some church members allege that the gunmen trailed the pastor in their vehicle from Enugu to Oka, where he was attacked as he tried to park his car in front of his church. However, a source who spoke to newsmen alleged that the suspects demanded for the sum of 5 million naira, during which the pastor offered them 1 million naira, which they rejected. The eyewitness stated further that the gunmen, after riddling his vehicle with bullets, left him in the pool of his own blood and carted away an undisclosed sum of money. However, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Chris Olabi, who addressed the press on behalf of the Police Commissioner, Garbar Omar, at the command headquarters in Okwa while debunking such reports, described such as the antics of some mischievous elements that are bent on portraying the state in bad light in order to achieve their selfish goals. Clarifying on the actual report of what happened, the police boss said Pastor David Elijah of Grace and Power Ministries, Oka, claimed that he was attacked by unknown gunmen along Enugu-Udi Road in Enugu State, and his vehicle was riddled with bullets, but he escaped unhurt. However, instead of reporting the incident at the nearest police station where the incident took place, the pastor drove his car straight to his church in Oka and attracted the attention of his congregation, who were waiting for him at the church premises for an event. It was later confirmed that the shooting incident was staged by Pastor David Elijah in an attempt to deceive church members and the public that he was rescued by God and that bullets could not penetrate his body. Now, moving on to our number 6 is Bishop Daniel Obinim. In a video trending online, a Ghanaian prophet, Bishop Daniel Obinim, also known as Angel Obinim, allegedly tried to fly to heaven during a church service. According to reports, the prophet told the congregation that he was going to visit God in heaven. In a video that has gone viral on social media, the self-acclaimed angel of God was seen opening his arms and preparing himself to be elicited to meet his father Jesus. But moments after, the controversial prophet ran and threw himself onto the members of his church, who did not want him to fly and leave them behind. Bishop Daniel Obinim is the founder of International God's Way Church located in Kumasi, Accra, and Tema of Ghana. In another controversy, Bishop Daniel Obinim asked his church members to bring their panties, braziers, and short boxers to the altar for spiritual direction. He also claimed to have turned stone into gold and sold an olive oil to his church members at a very high price, which he claims cure coronavirus. Bishop Daniel Obinim is known for self-proclaimed spiritual powers and extreme Christian practices, which have often sparked national outrage for infringement on rights of church members. He was later arrested by Ghanaian Police Authority for fraud, forgery, and deceit. Now, moving on to our number 5, we have Pastor Penwell Nguni. A controversial South African pastor, Penwell Nguni, the founder of the End Time Disciples Ministry, who is always known for asking his church members to do strange things such as swallowing live snakes. He has been nicknamed the Snake Pastor, as the name of his church suggests. He is an end-time pastor winning souls for the devil. The pastor, who went viral across the globe, making headlines in newspapers and online platforms for feeding his church members with snakes in South Africa, revealed that it is a demonstration of God's power. Pastor Penwell Nguni had also fed his church members with live rats, locking another in a deep freezer for over 30 minutes and causing more to strip off their clothes during his wild church services. Pastor Penwell Nguni was arrested for his activities and faced backlash from people. He later confessed all his atrocities before Prophet T.B. Joshua at the Synagogue Church of All Nations and got delivered. Now, moving on to our number 4 on the list today, we have Pastor Paul Sangare. A Zimbabwean pastor, Paul Sangare, in a widely televised church service, deceived a massive congregation when he had a conversation with God on a mobile phone during a church service. Although the phone call wasn't on speaker, but Pastor Paul Sangare claims he has a direct line with heaven and can talk to God directly on mobile phone call any day and anytime. Pastor Paul Sangare is the founder of Victory World International Church in Zimbabwe. During the church services, he was televised worldwide on TV, while Pastor Paul Sangare holds a mobile phone to his ear, asking, "Hello, is this heaven? Hello, is this heaven?" A woman kneels before him with her arms raised. The congregation around him claps and screams after his pronouncement. He asks God what he should ask the woman, asking, "What else, Papa God? What else, Papa God?" He tells the crowd that God is saying that the congregation should pray for the woman's children. God tells Sangare that the woman has 2 children, one of whom is asthmatic and the other epileptic, and that they are currently in Bulawayo, a city in southwest Zimbabwe. When these details are confirmed by the woman, the crowd erupts into a massive applause. Moving on to our number 3 is another controversial pastor, Pastor Alf Lukau. In 2019, a South African pastor, Alf Lukau, who claimed to have resurrected a man from the dead, stated that he regrets the incident. His viral resurrection stunts led to several lawsuits, with some critics challenging him to raise the late South African leader Nelson Mandela from the dead. Pastor Alf Lukau, who is originally from Congo but resides in South Africa, where he runs the popular Alleluia Ministries, claimed that the man was already alive when he arrived at his church. The controversial preacher said this during an interview with Power FM's Power Drive host, Tabiso Tema, in South Africa, explaining how it all happened. He said he was busy with a sermon on Sunday when he was interrupted and told that the person in a coffin had been brought to the church. It was later discovered that it was a fake miracle and that everything was staged to deceive the public. During an interview, Pastor Alf Lukau stated, "Before entering the premises of the church, the coffin began to shake, meaning the person was alive. I am really sorry for the misinterpretation of facts. The man was not dead and has never been in the mortuary as we earlier said," Mr. Lukau explained. Now, moving straight to our number 2 on the list today, we have Prophet Shepherd Bushiri. In 2020, self-proclaimed prophet and church leader Shepherd Bushiri surrendered to police in Malawi, where he had fled to. Prophet Bushiri is wanted on charges of theft and money laundering in South Africa. Bushiri and his wife Mary fled from South Africa to Malawi last week, violating bail conditions that were set after he was arrested in connection with a multi-million-dollar money laundering case. Bushiri turned himself in to the police on Wednesday in Lilongwe. Police spokesman James Kadadzera said the arrest was in response to a warrant issued by the International Police Organization, Interpol. In one of his fake miracles, Prophet Bushiri walked on air to prove that he was truly a man of God. His action was criticized by religious critics who accused him of obtaining power from the coven. In 2016, was also accused of raping women and girls as young as 16 years old, including 2 sisters, drugged some, bribed them into silence, and vowed to kill others if they expose him. Now moving on to our number 1 on the list today, we have Pastor Chidiebere Okorafo. In February last year, a chief magistrate court sitting in Port Harcourt remanded in prison custody one Pastor Chidiebere Okorafo, who claimed to be the founder of the Altar of Solution Church. The so-called man of God was alleged to have killed a 25-year-old pregnant woman and 2 others. Shamefully, the pastor who should be converting souls for Christ was paraded among other criminals at the police headquarters in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, in the southern part of Nigeria. The victims of Pastor Chidiebere Okorafo wickedness included one Ada Consilia Ezenwa, Uloma Onyeagba, and 1-month-old Christabel Joseph Ezenwa. They were in his church and they were his church members. According to the outcome of an investigation by the police, Pastor Chidiebere Okorafo allegedly lured his victims to an uncompleted building in a farm in Afam axis of Oyibo local government area of Rivers State, where he killed the 3 of them. The report claimed that the pregnant victim was having amorous relationship with the accused pastor before she was murdered alongside 2 others by the wicked pastor. While in court, he confessed that he strangled Ada to death and pushed the pregnant Uloma, who fell down, broke her neck, and died. Yeah, and that's it on today's episode of NCM Story. Thank you guys so much for staying with us from the beginning of the video to this present time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. And if you've not subscribed, please do subscribe and turn on your notification button so that when we drop fresh and new content, you will get first-hand updates. See you guys next time. Till we meet again, I leave you guys with love, peace, and bye-bye.